the anime, because that would be such a shame if they didn't.
I don't think it is the same, but I remember that the one for the anime is super good too.
Okay.
Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco is here with Binks, and we are continuing Steins Gate. I'm still in the middle of moving. That was the reason that we had to skip last time. But it's been going steady. It's been going steady. I'm very excited. Afterwards, I hit the streets again in search of the pin. Oh, and hello, twin. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and tried searching the internet. A couple of hours later, and still no luck. So far, I have accomplished absolutely nothing. My frustration is mounting. I can time leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? An unfamiliar number. Who is it? It's me.
I feel like this is one of the bad guys. This is supposed to be bad Japanese. Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro.
The voice is heavily accented. I can barely make it out. Who is this guy? CERN! I jump to my feet and scan the room, then run to the window and check the road below. No suspicious figures in sight. Kurisu comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside.
Oh wait, this must be the guy he approached, the peddling guy.
Yeah.
Were you voicing him?
I don't think so. I can't remember.
I don't remember either. Son, what is that?
I gulp and carefully choose my words. Identify yourself.
You, one more afternoon, came to our factory, make inquiry, and told me your telephone number, you know. Factory?
What are you saying? No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain, connecting synapses. That's right! It's that foreign street vendor I met this afternoon at Akiba. Identified! Nice to meet you!
Oh, you're welcome. I do custom work. Yesterday night, the guest come here, I remembered. That guest was please make pin badge same one you had.
I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it. I'll head there right now. I go to the same spot as before. Although his stand has already closed, the Westerner is waiting for me.
Oh, Okabe! Hello!
Okabe, that's cute. Where did that guest of yours go?
Client come here was yesterday time.
The blue-eyed white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered. What's his contact info? His name and address?
Poison. Guess just for simulation. Private information of nothing. Poison.
So last night, someone came by wanting to make metal pins with the same design as Suzuha's. But he died of poisoning.
No, I don't think so.
The guess was just a simulation, so there's no private information? I'm not following.
Japanese, very studious and awarding private information, become nervous and serious, yeah?
That doesn't help.
Oh my god, I feel like smacking Okabe right now. Wait a second. He has Kurisu, who lives in America. She could have come with him and translated. Oh! Okabe, you fool.
How many times have you said that during this LP?
Right? We should have like a counter going. If guests I gave name or telephone number, however, no leak. That is business.
Fatigue suddenly weighs down my shoulders. Or you could just call her? Can we call her? I don't think we can since it didn't prompt us, but...
We're smarter than him. Assistant.
Alright, I was looking for her name! I don't understand a word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Kurisu to speak English for me.
I'm very triggered.
I guess I just have to wing it. What did your customer look like? Man? Woman?
Well, so young or so middle. Japanese have young face, just by look no understand. Very true.
Anything else? Maybe a judo fighter or a pro... Oh, sorry.
Maybe a judo fighter or pro wrestler.
What? Judo? Pro wrestler? What do you mean by that?
Yes!
That wasn't a yes or no question. What the hell do you mean?
Ah, balloon was balloon.
Balloon? Judo? Pro wrestling?
Call her already, dang you. Good.
No, not good! Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs off. I consider chasing him, but decide against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end, and we have barely any time left to find Barrel Tighter. I can time leap again, starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Looks all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, and then leap to the time the suspicious character appears at the stand.
Okay.
Kurisu carefully connects the two cords she's holding.
Done.
The time leap machine is complete. It's 2:30 p.m. on the 13th, about 20 minutes later than before. Kurisu walks into the lounge with a satisfied look on her face. It's just her, me, and Suzuha in the lab. Hadaro and Mayuri head to Radikan, ostensibly to work on the time machine.
So, that's the time leap machine.
Suzuha gazes at the now complete machine in awe. I've already explained to her how time leaping works. It's as different as can be from Suzuha's time machine, which can physically displace actual bodies.
It makes you remember the future, right? That's pretty interesting.
Suzuha crosses her hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling.
Intuition, sixth sense, deja vu. I wonder if those things are actually you recalling future memories. Some of CERN's researchers in my time came up with a theory that memories are a way of sharing information across world lines. Maybe it's similar to that.
I just wish we knew more about Okabe's reading Steiner thing. Is it unique to Okabe? Or does everyone have the potential for it and Okabe's is just stronger by coincidence? It was the Chuni power.
One thing's for certain. My consciousness leaps to the past along with my memories.
I still don't understand why that is. It would make more sense if you experienced a change in the present, like you do when we send a D-mail. Does your consciousness depend on your memories?
The problem is that consciousness doesn't have a form that we can see. Same goes for the soul. Those things are still in the realm of religion. Even in 2036, the existence of a soul hasn't been proven, and nobody's proving what forms consciousness either.
I see. That's a little disappointing.
Sending my consciousness back has let me change some future events with more precision than D-mail, but other events are locked in by convergence. I can change the method of Mayuri's death, never the fact that she dies.
That's not how it works. The future is always determined.
Then why does the path there change?
Because the world line changes. When you leap into the past and takes different actions from before, divergence changes, if only a little bit. In most cases, that fluctuation won't amount to more than 0.000001% on the divergence meter. Small changes might not register at all. When you change the cause, the effect merely shifts to a separate, already existing world line. Since those two world lines are almost exactly the same, you barely feel any difference.
So is that why reading Steiner didn't react?
It's not like the previous world line disappears. It keeps existing as another possible world line.
That's the many worlds interpretation, right?
In any case, they're not parallel worlds.
And so is the future reconstructed?
I guess you could say that.
I'm confused again. Maybe it's impossible for me to fully understand the structure of the universe. Anyway, that's enough discussion. It's time for me to leap again. I explained the situation to Kurisu and have her activate the time leap machine immediately. Oh, for a second I thought it wasn't gonna work.
Right? I thought maybe his body finally said no more.
It's the night of the 11th. I went back 40 hours. My objective is to keep watch on the street vendor's stand in the hope that Suzuha's father might appear. I sent Suzuha elsewhere. I don't want her to be disappointed if I come up empty-handed. I'm standing out of sight a short distance away from the stand, munching on energy bars and soy milk to appease my growling stomach. I've already been here for 2 hours. I forgot to ask for the exact time the suspicious character appeared, so I had to begin my stakeout before sunset. Now it's 8 p.m. and the stand looks like it's about to close.
I'm surprised nobody's like called the cops on him for
Right?
standing.
Is this another waste of time? Did that foreigner give me false information? Just like an American. But just as I'm finishing my milk, someone approaches the stand. Is that... I jump out of cover.
Uh-huh.
Daru!
Okarin.
Daru jumps in surprise. But I'm the one who's really shocked here. What are you doing here?
I was gonna ask the same question.
The storekeeper is looking at us funny, so we decide to change locations.
No, you stopped him. Wasn't he supposed to buy the pin?
He was asking to make a copy of it, I think. Alright, Daru. What were you doing at that street stand? Don't tell me you were trying to counterfeit duplicates of Tiger's pin.
Fine, I won't tell you then.
So that's what happened. Daru was the suspicious character the foreigner told me about. So all the stuff about judo, pro wrestling, and balloons was referring to Daru's size.
I actually thought that when I saw that, I was like, "Are you talking about a big guy like Daru?"
Could he have been more confusing? Damn, it was all for nothing!
No, you idiot! What if he's the dad?
Good thing I didn't bring Suzuha along. So why were you trying to make counterfeit versions of the pin?
I wasn't trying to counterfeit it.
Close enough.
Well, I meant it as a backup plan, I guess. Amanishi's gonna be sad if we don't find her old man, right? So if that happens, I'll show her the badges I made and, well, lie that her dad was here.
So you'll give her false hope.
You don't have to put it like that. Remember, there are good lies and bad lies. Bad lies hurt people, good lies save them.
What eroge did you get that from?
Claudan, it's not an eroge, it's a visual novel that teaches you the meaning of life, so shut up!
Oh,
Is that the one that
Yeah,
Justin wants you to play?
yeah.
So, should I call off Operation Fake Tighter?
Do you really think that will make Suzuha happy? Daru's expression suddenly turns sad.
Hello, Vab. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Ooh,
Hiya.
where was your trip? Amana Shi told me not to tell anyone, but I guess I'd better tell you.
He's got a big mouth as usual. Still, he seems dead serious, so I'd better hear him out.
I heard this from Amana Shi when we were discussing the repairs. Her time machine can only leap to the past.
What? At first, I don't understand what he means. Nonsense! Tighter's time machine could travel both ways.
Did you actually see it?
Well, no.
Besides, when you say Tighter, you mean the one who appeared in 2000, don't you? I don't know anything about that Tighter.
That's right. The Tighter I know and Suzuha aren't necessarily the same person. Although their time machines are similar, there are significant differences. For example, one looks like a Chevy and the other looks like a satellite. So... wait.
Once she leaves, she can't come back.
You're saying that if she goes to 1975, she can't return to 2010?
Not without living 35 years in real time.
Is he serious? Does that mean Suzuha's time machine can never return to 2036?
Didn't I just say that?
Then it's defective!
Right. She said the time machine was incomplete.
Incomplete? Incomplete?!
According to Amanishi, her old man built it in secret by reverse engineering CERN technology. But CERN killed him before he could complete it. Amanishi insisted it's fine as long as she can leap to the past, but...
Are you sure about this?
She said so herself. I don't think she was lying. So if she doesn't meet her old man before the time machine is repaired, she might never get another chance.
So that's why he was trying to make a copy of that pin, as evidence that Suzuha's father was here. But making a fake version of her father's pin isn't going to solve anything. A lie is a lie.
But if we don't get caught...
I wave Daru's silence and massage my temples. Need to think. What difference does it make? True, Suzuha might be sad about missing her father, but that's none of my business. My top priority is Mayuri's safety. That's right. I mustn't let my emotions control me. I need to be more rational, more logical. There's a Japanese proverb, he who pursues two hares will catch neither. However, that sad smile on Suzuha's face. Now I understand what it meant. I feel something tighten deep within my chest. The next day, as night falls, I summon all lab mems except Kurisu to Radikan. It's boiling hot on the rooftop, even in the evening. When I provide Daru with a refreshing gift of cola, his sweaty face lightens up.
Whoa, Ocarine! An ice cold 0-calorie cola. How thoughtful of you.
Daru happily takes the cola and chugs it straight from the bottle. Afterwards, Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away.
Hey, Ocarine, isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm glad Suzu-san wasn't hurt in the crash. I heard it's really hard to drive. Oh, we've had this conversation before.
Mm-hmm.
If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes whoop.
Terrifying, thank you.
Yep. And she even said her time machine's unstable since it's not a CERN model. I'm worried about her trip to 1975. Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit.
Well, that's one way to prevent you from dying. Maybe. What would you do in 1975?
Gets there and immediately dies. I cheer Suzu-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's going to be okay. Hey, Ocarine, do you think the time machine has a name?
If you want to know, just ask Tighter.
Oh yeah, Mayushi didn't think of that.
Mayuri giggles and runs off to talk to Suzuha. He returns a few seconds later.
Yep, it has a name. FG204 something something, she said. Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzu-san are a good match?
I look at Daru and Suzuha again. Daru's all about Ferris.
Oh, really?
She tilts her head to the side.
Hey, can Mayushi take a closer look at the time machine?
I nod and Mayuri runs over to the time machine again. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. As Mayuri leaves, Suzuha comes over to stand beside me. Our shadows are long and murky in the fading light.
Hashira Itaru's amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow. And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
A refreshing breeze blows by. It was quite hot a few minutes ago, but the temperature's finally starting to drop.
Hey. There's something I want to say and I feel like I'll never get another chance. Are you listening?
After a moment's hesitation, I give a little nod.
I'm really grateful to you. All of you. When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own. This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing. But it scared me. All I knew was the fight against CERN. But now I have friends. Real friends who I can share my secrets with. All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake. It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too. I wanted you to know that.
I've heard these words before. Just like last time, her tone is wistful.
A time machine can only leap to the past.
The truth I heard from Daru plays in my head in an endless refrain.
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun. When I met you, you were all so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually. But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you. 2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
I shake my head.
Anyway, people don't fight. Ever. About anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof! Without a trace. Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish. No one has ambition, nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives without a single complaint. Oh sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad. There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot. You got really mad at me before, remember? I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
Suzuha looks at the time machine, and Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. Shina Mayuri, Hashira Itaru, even Makise Kurisu. And of course you. I want to be more like you. It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong. Being a labman, even if only for a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. This time I know what that smile means.
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
Suzuha obviously knew from the beginning that if she traveled to 1975, she could never return.
Change the future, Okabe Rintaru. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
The first time I heard her speak these words, I thought she was sentimental because she couldn't return to her original 2036. I was wrong. Forget about 2036. She can't even return to here, to 2010, not without living 35 years. She'll be 54 when 2010 comes around. The present us and the present Suzuha can never meet again. Suzuha chose this mission. To change the future. To save Mayuri. Unless Suzuha travels to 1975, Mayuri will die. But then, what about Suzuha herself? When she leaves for 1975, she'll have to sacrifice everything she has here. How does she feel about that?
Could you remind me what in 1975 she's going to do?
She's going back to try and find an IBN 5100.
Ah. Damn.
Yep. Do you... Do you regret spending time with us?
What do you mean?
Do you regret making new friends here? New memories? Do you wish you had kept your distance? You've already abandoned one life. Now you have to abandon another. In a sense, it's like you're killing yourself.
Did Hashira Itaru tell you?
Suzuha frowns. He's worried about you.
Jeez, I told him not to tell anybody.
Well, how do you feel about going to 1975?
It doesn't matter how I feel.
Suzuha's expression suddenly hardens.
I have to go. It's the path I chose, and it's what my dad wanted.
What if we ask you to stay?
I'll go anyway. One of those guys on that channel asked what right I have to change the future and decide the fate of the human race. He had a point. But still, I don't want the future to turn out like that. I want the people in my time to be free like you. Free to laugh and play, fight and argue, get sad and cry. If I change the future, then no one will die. Not you, not Shina Mayuri, and not my dad. Maybe I don't have a right, but I'm going anyway.
Even if you can never return.
Oh, come on. The 70s aren't a bad time, you know? I'll find friends there, just like you guys. We'll have a blast!
Just like that, Suzuha is back to her usual self.
She's so strong.
Right? But despite her cheerful smile, I'm certain that her resolve was forged from fear and doubt, the likes of which few can imagine. I was a fool to think my words could sway her.
It's really sad.
Yeah. Beneath the clear blue sky, the time machine comes to life. Naru's repairs are complete. Mayuri and I help drain the last of the water out of the cockpit. The machine is still stuck in Radikon's wall, but that's a small matter. Naru gazes at the time machine with a satisfied expression. Mayuri is jumping for joy, and Kurisu, who ran over as soon as she completed the time leap machine, is visibly relieved. Meanwhile, Suzuha is struggling to attach her mountain bike to the time machine's exterior. She likes it so much she wants to bring it with her to 1975. Kurisu was worried that it might cause a time paradox. My heart is still heavy. Should I let Suzuha leave like this? I chide myself for the thought. It's not my choice to make. Suzuha isn't from this time. If she doesn't want to stay, then I have no reason to keep her from leaving. Suzuha finishes securing her bicycle and turns to us with a soft smile. It's not the painful, forced smile I saw yesterday. We don't perform a startup test. Activating the time machine would draw too much attention. So we're just going to wing it. Fortunately, we have the time leap machine for insurance. My only regret is that we couldn't find her father.
Thanks, guys. Really, I can't thank you enough.
Don't forget about us.
If you want to thank me, then let's make out.
Oh no, don't say that. Ew. Especially if you might be her dad. I don't know. Control yourself, perv.
The lab members pat Suzuha on the shoulder and offer words of encouragement, each in his or her own way.
All right, take this.
Suzuha offers me her father's pin. OSHM A7010. In the end, we couldn't decipher the inscription.
This is for you, Okabe Rintaru. Keep it in the lab, will you? Somewhere out of sight is fine.
Suzuha. Is she regretting her decision to leave? Is this pin meant to be proof that Amane Suzuha was here, with us, in this time?
About the pin.
Naru hesitates for a moment, then steps forward.
Why don't we make duplicates for all the lab mems? Make it our symbol, I guess.
Wow, that's a great idea. How unusually thoughtful of you.
I don't know what to say. We already took a picture of it, so keep your pin. Amanashi, it belonged to your dad, right? Yeah. Okay.
I stay silent. There's nothing I can say. I could stop Suzuha from leaving if I tried. But unless she goes, I can't save Mayuri.
Okay, everyone. Da 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 da. Mayushi has an important announcement to make.
Mayuri suddenly raises her hand and calls for attention. As usual, she completely fails to sense the gravity of the situation, though I suppose it's our fault for not telling her the truth about Suzuha's time machine. In any case, she has my attention. What could her announcement be? Could Mayuri have found out that she's fated to die? I quickly glance at Kurisu, but she seems just as confused as I am.
No, in this timeline, now she's the bad guy. She pulls out a gun.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
She works for CERN now.
Then what is it?
Actually, Mayushi found Suzu-san's dad.
Huh?
What? Really?
Mayuri puffs out her chest proudly.
Wanna meet him? You do, don't ya? Well, he's here with us today. Oh my god, did she figure out it's Daru?
Where?
Everyone, including me, starts looking around. Mayuri has a hook, line, and sinker. I scan the empty event hall, but there's no one else here. Where could he be?
Allow me to introduce you. Suzu-san's dad is...
Me!
She's like, call me daddy. Daddy!
Is that a drum roll?
Ta-da! Suzu-san's dad is...
Mayuri flashes Suzuha a grin.
Daru-kun! Just like Binks has been saying. Yay!
She thrust her finger at Daru. Our mouths drop.
I'm glad. Well, she kind of timed it. Well, she didn't do it immediately after he asked to make out, so that would have been more awkward. She's like, "No, you're her father. You can't say that."
They should have had her like punch him as a way
Right.
of foreshadowing.
Uh-huh.
After awkward silence comes awkward laughter.
That joke's not even logical. It's impossible for this perv to get married in the
Dang.
first place.
Oh god! Now we need a time leap to keep Kurisu from murdering Daru.
Right? They all like cover her mouth, and the next one they're like, "Don't say it."
Hey, that kind of hurts.
I completely agree with Christina. Daru is fated to become a wizard when he turns 30. No,
Wow.
you established this is a lie!
How dare you?
Where's my fucking magic?
Right?
You could be nicer about it, guys, but it's the truth, so I can't object.
He just goes to the ground. Daru falls to his hands and knees, devastated.
You poor man.
As for Suzuha herself, she clearly doesn't know how to react.
You know my dad wasn't fat.
Wow. How do you know that if you don't know? Hmm?
Right? Also, if he was like some renegade, some rebel, he probably didn't have as much opportunity to eat as he does now.
Yeah, he probably lost a lot of weight. Jeez, you're all so mean to Daru-kun. He kind of deserves it, but still.
Mayushi's the only one to stand up for me. You're an angel, Mayushi. Do you love me?
Are you the mother? No.
Poor Daru. Harsh.
Another murder. Yushi's 100,000,000% sure that Daru-kun is Suzuha's dad. They have the same hair color, pretty much. Okay, what's your proof? I was thinking about the letters on Suzu-san's pin. Oh, she figured it out? Wow. After staring at it really hard, I noticed the 7 in 7010 looked a little weird. It's not a 7, it's a 2. The line fell off the bottom.
Really?
To be honest, whenever I saw that, I just saw Polo. I didn't even see the numbers.
Right? I didn't know that was supposed to be a 7. I thought it was a P. She's a genius. They have not noticed. Did they really think that was a freaking 7? Come on now.
Oh, this is just like the Leon situation all over again.
Yeah. You freaking Japanese. You don't know how to read American.
Suzuha stares at the inscription on the pin again.
It's so small, I can't tell.
So then that would be 2010, which is this year, huh? It's easy to see on the picture we took.
Hey, do you mind if I finish your kale?
Go for it!
Yay, your brother.
Damn, the mic picked him up. He was like calling from upstairs.
Yeah.
Damn. Then what do the letters mean? OSHM A7010. That's what's inscribed on the pin.
It's not a 7, you fool. Stop. That's easy. Okabe, Shina, Hashira, Makise, and finally, Amane. Oh.
What?
It was right in front of us all along. We just didn't know where to look.
So are the 3 stars for the other lab mems who are not really active anymore?
That could be it, yeah.
It's our initials.
So I was thinking, why 2010? And then I remembered it's the year of the lab mems.
The year of the lab mems.
The Future Gadget Laboratory was founded this year.
So that's what it is.
And you know, Suzu-san has lots of stories about future Okarin and future Chris-chan, but not a single story about Daru-kun, right?
There weren't any about Mayushi either.
About that.
Daru's observation startles me. It's an obvious thing to wonder about, but it strikes too close to home.
Well, Mayushi's a lab mem, but I can't make time machines and I don't like fighting. Of course I'm not famous. Oh, I wish that's why.
No, the reason there aren't any stories about Mayuri is because she dies in a few hours. Only Kurisu, Suzuha, and I know that, and we say nothing.
But Daru-kun's a super hacker, and Okarin's right arm. He even helped Okarin make Phone Wave-chan. So I thought it was strange Suzu-san didn't know about him. Damn, she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying he used a different name? Beryl Tider-san helped Okarin found the resistance, right? And he was in Akiba in 2010. And he was able to build his own time machine. And he knew about Okarin's reading spaghetti.
Reading Steiner!
He knew about it. Doesn't that fit Daru-kun perfectly? Wasn't Daru the one who just fixed the frickin' machine?
Right?
She's right. Do you remember the day Suzu-san went to meet her father? She thought he would be at the time machine offline meet, which Daru was going to go to.
We know that because we told her.
Daru-kun was supposed to be there too, right?
That meet was seriously important to the history of Japanese sci-fi. At least I got to sneak in while telling Amanashi.
I don't remember that. It must have happened because of the D-mail I sent. This is the curse of reading Steiner. Although I keep my memories from previous world lines, I don't acquire memories of events on new world lines.
Dad told me about that meet when I was little. I don't remember what he said exactly, but I thought I might be able to meet him there. So if I'd been at the meet, everything would have been okay. I don't know. I don't think I'd have picked you out as my dad.
Even though everybody else there had like dark hair and dark eyes, she would have been like, no, none of them.
Still, the evidence keeps piling up.
And then there's the time machine's name. FG204 something something. What was it?
FGO 204 2nd edition version 2.31.
That naming sense. It's got to be Daru.
That convinced him. And FG probably stands for Future Gadget.
So Suzuha's time machine. If future gadget number 204...
Finally, his name. Barrel Tighter has to be Daru-kun. Come to think of it, last night, Mayuri asked how to say barrel in Japanese. Barrel is taru in Japanese, right, Chris-chan? Oh.
Kurisu nods. Taru. Daru?
It's a pun? Oh god, now I really don't want to be related.
That would be Moon's response.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, Suzu-san, say Hashira Itaru 10 times fast.
Why?
Just say it and find out, hehe.
Hashira Itaru, Hashira Itaru, ish Hashira Itaru, Hashira Itaru, Hashira Itaru, Hashira Itaru, Hashira Itaru.
Damn, you're better than I could do. Just now, didn't it sound like Dieter? No.
No?
I didn't hear that. Must be a lost in translation thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
It did. Hashidaitaru, Hashidaitaru, Hashiditaru? No. Hashiditaru. No.
Yeah, I think it's just like difference in pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
For reals?
For super reals. She should have like her own, like, she's her own Sherlock Holmes thing now.
Yes.
Oh my god, that would be so good. A detective like her with her personality.
Yes.
They really need to create one because they have like so many
Almost-
who are very eccentric, but they're usually men, right?
Yeah, and almost all of them have like some degree of being really egotistical. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think, has there ever been like a super bubbly detective?
No, not really. And I would know because I watch a lot of them.
Like, I've never, I guess,
Like the closest would
Like
be
maybe I don't know. Was Nancy Drew bubbly? I never read the books, but just from
not
the
in the
little
book.
bit I picked up, she seemed kind of serious too, right?
Yeah, and the closest would be like Does I, but you and I know that it's kind of fake.
Hmm. Yeah, can anyone in chat think of like a bubbly detective?
Like one who's not that smart in like everyday life, but then has these genius moments like her.
Hmm. Let me go close the door real quick.
Okay. I would seriously love to see a series with a character like her as the lead detective. That'd be amazing.
I can't believe it. But with all this evidence laid out in front of me, I can't deny it either. Everyone's jaw drops again, only this time we're staring at Daru and Suzuha.
Or maybe she could be like a Phoenix Wright, like an ace attorney who's pretty much a detective.
Well, if we accept attorneys, then what's her face from Legally Blonde, maybe?
Oh yeah.
No, I mean even in her day-to-day life, she was still smart, but yeah, she fits the super bubbly aspect.
Mm-hmm. I think she looks just like her father. Yes.
That
That could just be the placebo effect, but now that you mention it, they do kind of look alike. Placebo effect. Placebo is something that seems like medicine but has no medicinal effect. When taken by a patient who believes it to be medicine, it gives them psychological stability. Despite placebos having no medicinal effect, there are cases where a patient's condition improves.
nice work, Mayuri. You'll make a great detective one day.
Yeah. A detective? That's the first time anyone said that. Hey, and she's good at cosplaying, so she could make like a bunch of disguises and stuff.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Twin just said, "How can someone have the personality of Maya but the intuition of Edgeworth?" That's perfect. Yes.
Yes. It's true. She is almost like Maya with the whole always hungry and eating thing. Oh, love it.
She's such a ditz most of the time, but maybe she's more perceptive than anyone knows. My daughter? Manis, she's my daughter. You're really regretting those words you just said, aren't you?
Right?
Daru, wide-eyed, points at Suzuha while flopping his lips like a fish out of water. Dad?
Oh.
Could you call me Papa instead?
Oh. For once in your life, don't be a perv.
Dad!
Oh, the music.
Suzuha tries to hold back her tears, but can't. They fall from her eyes and roll down her cheeks.
Oh, his face looks serious.
Seeing this, Daru stops his joking and lets Suzuha speak. I came, Dad. I came to see you, in the time machine you built. Yeah. I'm going to finish what you started, I promise. Yeah. Watch over me, okay? I'm watching. Of course I am. Suzuha walks up to Daru and hugs him gently.
Oh, I just got the feels.
Daru, awkwardly, but firmly hugs her back. Father and daughter, reunited across time. I'm truly glad we could bring them together. By the way, was your mother cute? Request petite girls with cute face and big boobs.
That's a secret.
He ends up completely and utterly over heels in love with like a Sakura figure.
Yes, big strong woman, get him.
Picks him up and cradles him.
That would be really cute, actually.
And he just has these giant hard eyes. When Suzuha finally steps away from Daru, she's smiling once again.
Well, that takes care of everything I wanted to do on this world line. Guess I should be going.
Wait, you're going already? Don't you have more to say to your father? What am I doing? Suzuha's mind is set. I know that nothing I can say will convince her to stay. It's madness to even try. If she stays, Mayuri dies. I know that. So why am I trying to stop her?
No, I'm fine now. I'm going to get an IBN 5100 just like I promised.
She looks at us with the face of a warrior.
I'll bring it to you here in Akihabara. That's my duty, and I'll see it through. The rest is up to you. Change the future. Please.
Nobody speaks. Nobody nods. We don't have the words. But she sees it in our faces. Resolve. Suzu has entrusted us with her will and her mission. We meet her gaze, each of us, and silently swear to protect them to the end. The future Suzuha came from is not the future we desire. In Suzuha's time, Daru and I fought to change it. This time, we'll make sure it never happens. Mayuri will live. Kurisu will be free. Suzuha will grow up knowing her father. We must change the future, that all these things may come to pass.
Well, see you in 35 years. Though I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys. Oh, I almost forgot. The time machine gives off terrific ultraviolet rays when it jumps, so make sure not to look directly at it.
With that final warning, Suzuha boards the time machine. She waves once, and then the hatch closes behind her.
Oh my god, so we're gonna see a 54-year-old her?
We'll see. Moments later, the machine comes to life. A shrill alarm starts ringing. There are no other sounds. It makes less noise than I expected. Damn, that must have freaked out the people, like, down on the streets. Yeah. People on the street below start shouting and cheering at the satellite's sudden activity. They all look up and point. My phone vibrates. I quickly take it out and open it. The mail is from Suzuha.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye. When I failed to stop her on a previous world line, she sent me the exact same message before leaving. But this time, the word holds a completely different meaning. I lift my eyes from the message to see the space around the time machine begin to warp. Look away, fool!
Right?
A cocoon of light appears and envelops the fuselage. I squint my eyes against the brilliance. Suzuha. We will never see her again. Not this Suzuha. Yes, we can seek her out in our time. I know that I will make the effort. But the next time we meet, an immense gulf of time will have divided us. No matter how hard we wish it were different, she will not be the girl we knew. All of a sudden, Daru takes a step into the light.
Suzuha! I'm sure we'll meet again! I'll do my best until then. I hate myself for not knowing any other way to say it, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best, I promise. So Suzuha, do your best too!
His words probably can't reach her anymore. As the light grows more intense, I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Bathed in radiant particles, the cocoon slowly unfurls. The next thing I know, Suzuha's time machine has vanished into thin air, leaving a hole the size of a dump truck in Radikon's walls.
And a hole in our hearts.
Yeah. The air is thick with the smell of ozone and seems to pulse softly where the machine stood. We stand there for a while, staring silently at the empty spot, while the summer breeze blows gently past. As if the wind were fate itself. Unfortunately, we don't have time to mourn her departure. In about an hour and a half, Moeka's group will attack the lab. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBN 5100 that Suzuha went to 1975 to obtain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easy for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha should be here in Akiba. Before she left, we decided that the time machine's disappearance would be her cue to bring the IBN 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems Suzuha hasn't come yet.
No more running.
Kurisu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any sign of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 337.187%. Divergence hasn't changed. Reading Steiner didn't activate this time, so I suspected that might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought that divergence would change the instant Suzuha obtained an IBN 5100 in 1975. But maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBN 5100? Or will it change when we use the IBN 5100 to delete my email from CERN's database? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive.
Suzuha's 54 by now, right?
After catching his breath, Daru speaks.
My daughter is 30 years older than me. I don't know if I want to see that. Feels weird, man.
You know, it wouldn't be unusual for her to have grandchildren by that age. Don't freak him out more.
What?
She would have to be, like, have her kid very young.
Right?
You know, all of that. Like,
A
it's too
child,
bad.
yes. Grandchildren, no.
You mean I could have great-grandkids? I don't know if I'm ready for that, man.
Just be super nice to them. That's what grandpas do.
Please don't call me Grandpa.
A knock on the door interrupts their idle chatter. It must be Suzuha. Everyone looks at me, with a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety. I slowly open the door.
Okabe.
Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable. Oh, it's you.
Hey, have you seen my part-timer? You were such a perv to her.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Brown peeks into the lab.
If you're looking for Suzu-san, she went 35 years.
Shut up, Mayuri.
Kurisu covers Mayuri's mouth.
You know something? Where'd that girl run off to? She took the last couple of days off, and I don't know when she's coming next. She won't even answer her phone.
We don't have time for this, but I can't just order him to leave. Not unless I want another cracked skull. She said she went back to her hometown. She's probably gone for good.
What? You sure? That brat. She didn't say a word to me.
The future is changing. Isn't this proof? On my previous leaps, Mr. Brown never came by the lab. This must be related to Suzuha's trip to 1975. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the attractor field doesn't amend history again. Mr. Brown sighs and turns to me with a serious expression.
Well, whatever. I've got something for you, Okabe.
For me? He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Rintaro, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back. What is this?
It's from the lady who used to own this building. She asked me to give it to you on this day.
Ah.
Who?
How did you know Suzu-san, anyway?
Suzu-san. Suzu-san. Of course! The name on the back reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname. Where is she now?
Oh no.
Huh? She passed away 10 years ago.
That's sad.
Yeah. Passed away? She's dead? A wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my feet.
She died young then.
How old was she?
Mid-40s, I think.
The age fits. Thank you for taking care of this letter, Mr. Brown.
Is it from Suzu-san?
Seriously? Why did he have it?
Mr. Brown clearly doesn't understand our reaction, and we're not about to explain. I thank him again. He grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I break the seal and open the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy, as if her hand was shaking as she wrote it.
Aw, I would have loved to see her older. That would have been cute.
Yeah. Our eyes, transfixed, begin to read.
Dear Okabe Rintaro, it's me, Amane Suzuha, Hashida Taira's daughter. It's been a long time. Though for you, I'm sure only a few hours have passed. The date is June 13th. The year is 2000. Meaning I'm writing this 10 years before you will read it. I'll get right to the point. I failed.
Oof.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah. The date is June 14th. The year's 2000. About 9 or 10 years before you will read this. I failed. I only remembered who I was 1 year ago today.
Oh no.
The day Nostradamus said the King of Terror would come. Stupid, stupid King of Terror. He should have come and burned us all away. For 24 years I forgot who I was. All I could remember was my name. I finally remembered 1 year ago. The day the King of Terror was supposed to come but didn't. There's no King of Terror, but I want to die. The repairs were incomplete. The time machine malfunctioned. When I arrived in 1975, I couldn't remember anything.
Ugh.
They found me lying in the street like a broken doll and took me to a hospital. Now I've been living on my own for years, but that says Hashira Suzu. A normal person who forgot the duty and mission of Amane Suzuha I only remembered last year. I failed.
Ugh.
I'm a failure. Something went wrong, I don't know what. The repairs were incomplete, but it's not Daru's fault, it's mine. I should have gone straight to 1975. I shouldn't have stopped in 2010, but I was selfish and now the future is doomed. There's no IBN 5100. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For what purpose have I lived to this age? I forgot my duty and lived a carefree life instead. Now my life has no meaning at all. It's worthless. I wish I hadn't remembered. I'm glad I finally remembered. I'm glad I had this chance to say sorry. Forgive me. My plan failed. I spent this whole year asking myself why. I finally figured it out. If I hadn't postponed my leap to 1975, this wouldn't have happened. Okabe Rintaro. After the offline meet, you stopped me from going to 1975. I was really happy, but that's where it all went wrong. I should have left. I shouldn't have waited. That was my last chance. That night there was a thunderstorm. My time machine was flooded. If you can go back to that day, please let me leave. Then I can bring you the IBN 5100. I can fulfill my mission. Please, that's all I want. I promised Dad. That was his dream. I want to change the future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My life was meaningless.
This is brutal.
Yeah, I just literally just remembered this right before starting. I was like, oh god, no.
Oh, after everything. Ugh. Can he even go back to that day? I don't know.
My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realize that I'm crying. Suzuha failed? She lost her memory? Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces, like mine, are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet. Daru, didn't you fix the time machine?
I did. I thought I did, but I mean, that was my first time repairing a time machine. I might have missed something.
Yeah.
Missed something? Whatever you missed cost your daughter 24 years of her life. Oh,
Don't
dude.
take it out on him.
Oh.
You a-hole.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Calm down, both of you. Hashira did everything he could. He doesn't deserve your anger, Okabe.
How can you be so calm?
That's how I am. Sorry. Now calm down.
It's not Daru's fault. I know that. But it can't end like this. It can't. What was Suzuha feeling as she wrote this letter? I look again at the words scrawled upon the page, every character resonant with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead, this. Suzuha is dead, 10 years gone. Wait. How did she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Braun must know what happened.
Maybe the ultraviolet radiation caused cancer or something?
I'm afraid she maybe offed herself.
Oh god, that's even worse.
Yeah. I run to the window and check the street. Mr. Braun is outside, closing up shop. Mr. Braun! I run downstairs.
Okabe, did you hear? That satellite up and disappeared. Everyone's talking about it.
I guess it's already made the news. Please. I need to know.
Huh? Know what?
Hashida Suzu-san. How did she die?
Why do you want to know that?
He looks at me hard. I meet his stare, unflinching. I don't know anything about how she died. I need to know what her last moments were like. I feel that it's my duty to know. To engrave her memory in my heart.
Sounds like you've got a reason.
You're just inviting more pain into yourself, dude.
What I want to know is how you knew her.
She was an old acquaintance. That's all I can say. A very old acquaintance. But I still remember the time I spent with her. So please, tell me.
I'd like to talk about it, but alright. Listen good, Okabe.
I slowly nod. And then I get my answer.
It was suicide.
Ugh.
The word drops on my heart like an anvil. My knees give out. I collapse to the pavement. Suicide.
Oh god, this is... Ugh.
She hung herself at home. I was the one who found her.
My life was meaningless. I recall the last words she wrote in her letter. Words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end.
She became unstable about a year before it happened. Before that, she was a nice, cheerful lady. This building was hers. She gave me a place to stay. She had no relatives, you know. Almost no one came to her funeral. It was a sad thing to see.
Ugh.
She handed me that letter a week before it happened. Told me to give it to a young man named Okabe Rintaro on this exact date. When you moved in upstairs, I thought Suzu-san must have seen the future or something.
Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fall, a small body supports my shoulder.
Ocarine, are you okay?
Mayuri. It must be taking all her strength to hold me up. Did Mayuri hear how Suzu had died? Her eyes are wet. Her lips are trembling. Still, she's the one supporting me. Mayuri and I bow deeply to Mr. Braun and return to the lab. When we get back, Daru is seated at his computer, head on the table.
I mean, as hard as Ocarina is taking this, I feel like Daru must be taking it worse.
Yeah.
That's his daughter.
Yeah, I really hope we don't tell him how she died. Though he can
Yeah.
probably figure it out himself.
Mm-hmm.
Kurisu is standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about Radicon. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. I look at the table. The divergence meter still reads 0.337187. It hasn't changed since before Suzuha left. What went wrong? I can't go back 10 years with a time leap machine. I can't do anything about Suzuha's death. Should I have stopped her from leaving after all? Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. No, what choice did I have? I can't save Mayuri without the IBN 5100. Suzuha had to travel to 1975. I consider my options. But if I redo these 2 days again, could Daru fix the time machine so this doesn't happen? Hello, Ruben. Yeah, we've got the devastating news about what happened to Suzuha.
Yep.
Is fixing the time machine even possible? Daru's skills are second to none, and the time machine was built by his own hand 26 years in the future. It seems logical that he would be able to fix it. Not really. I mean, there's a lot that you can learn in 26 years. But look at it another way. It took Daru 26 years to learn enough to build the time machine, and he had to reverse engineer CERNs to do it. Maybe it's unreasonable to expect our Daru to perform flawless repairs in only 2 days. In that case, can I have Daru use the time leap machine and repeat these 2 days until he repairs it? No, he'll have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. I collapse into the sofa and bury my face in my hands. Mayuri sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness. I recall what Suzuha wrote.
If you can go back to that day, please, please let me leave.
The D-mail I sent. And I'm gonna go grab some water real quick because my throat is hurting.
Okay. Oh, you guys, this game is it's a lot. What an emotional roller coaster because we had so many funny moments and romantic cute moments here and there. And now it's just been pain after pain after pain. And now, I mean, we had a little break, but now it's like, oh, poor Susuha. Really, really sad. Anyway, hope you guys are doing okay today. Excuse me. It's Sunday, so I'm sad thinking that I have work tomorrow, but I just gotta try to enjoy what time is left of the day.
Alrighty.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I was just telling them how sad this game makes me.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten about this bit, so now I'm just like, all right, I wanted to be snotty today.
Right?
Oh, could
My mom just walked by and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Because she could see my nose was red. I become like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I sometimes I don't even have tears coming down, but my nose will instantly turn red.
Aw. Could that be the cause? On the original world line, Suzuha left to 1975 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with that outcome, I sent a D-mail to convince myself to follow Suzuha and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by a thunderstorm. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent that D-mail to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 1975. The solution is obvious. I need to cancel that D-mail.
Can we do that?
But can I really do that?
Yeah, he doesn't know either.
If I change the past so that Suzuha leaves, won't that undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba. Her heartfelt confession on the roof of Rodikan.
Oh, that's so sad to have to undo all that.
Mm-hmm. Her tearful reunion with her father, Daru. All of it will be undone. What do I do? An urgent bulletin pops up on the TV. I look up in surprise.
Bomb threat suspends Yamanote Sobu, Kaihin Tohoku lines.
Damn, Moeka's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think, no time to hesitate. I run downstairs, break into Brown Tube workshop, and turn on the 42-inch CRT. Then I return to the lab and activate the time leap machine.
What are you doing, Okabe?
Kurisu demands answers. I can see the fear in her eyes. We can't just leave it like this. I have to do something.
Okabe. But Okarine, are you sure?
Don't try to stop me, Mayuri. I can't let this stand. There are 2 options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue Suzuha. Sending a contradictory D-mail should do the trick. Or I can time leap again and prevent Suzuha from leaving. 2 options. But really, just one. Do not hesitate, Okabe Rintaro. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Stop pursuit. Last mail. Is CERN trap.
Ah.
That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go. Kurisu, you're good at remembering dates, aren't you?
Huh? Well, sure.
When did we throw that party for Suzuha?
4 days ago, August 9th. You're sending a T-mail, Okarine? But won't that make everything disappear?
4 days. It may not sound like much, but in that time we forged a definite bond with Suzuha. To send this D-mail is to sever that bond. I know that. I know that! But this is the only choice I have.
I mean, it will save her, and it will also save, Mayuri, hopefully.
I set the phone wave to 97 hours ago. This D-mail should arrive a few hours after the first. Now I just need to send it. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. That is what drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. This is just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bond you had. Send the D-mail. Push the button. Isn't this what Suzuha wants? You'll be saving her from 25 years of loneliness, from ending her life.
Oh, I thought they were saying we had to do that. No? Okay.
No, I think we do have to, like, manually do it if we don't. But, there we go. Send. I start up the microwave. The discharge begins immediately. I place my thumb on the send button.
So I feel like that was one of those, like, do you think we actually could have not sent it?
I think so, yeah. It's still hard for me to fight, like, the instinct of normal visual novels where, like, it'll actually give you a on-screen choice.
Right.
But, yeah, I think this is one where if we don't send it, we get a different ending than what we're trying to pursue. Because I remember in the walkthrough I looked at, there was nothing listed for this chapter, but it said avoid Suzuha's ending. So I think if we don't send it, then we end up with Suzuha's ending.
Oh, interesting. Are you sure?
Mayuri's voice is choked with tears.
Our memories with Suzu-san will disappear. Is that really okay? It's very sad.
Yeah. Memories flash through my head.
I feel like if we got Suzuha's ending, it would have been a sad ending anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Because, like, we could still do the time leap machine and prevent her from going, but then Mayuri would still die?
Yeah.
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great. I'm going to finish what you started, Dad. I promise. Well, see you in 35 years. Although, I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys.
So he'll be the only one to have these memories now.
Yep.
Change the future. Please.
Suzuha, I've made my choice. I won't ask for your forgiveness. Ultimately, I'm doing this to save Mayuri. But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my heart. Oh, yeah, Ruben confirms that if we don't send the email, we get on Suzuha's route, and her ending is crazy for sure.
Oh boy.
But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my heart. You entrusted to me your hope for the future. If I am to honor that wish and fulfill mine, then the time we spent together can never happen again. Can never have happened.
Oh, divergence.
Metaphysic necrosis complete. See, I'm just imagining now that pretty much the same thing happens with CERN taking over. So that's just a route in which we're just fucking rebels trying to take down CERN the hard way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But then that would always also create... what would happen when, you know, we get to the year in which Suzuha is supposed to have been born?
Yeah, that would be a little awkward. I've seen a similar storyline. Have you heard of the show Charmed?
Yes, yes.
They had a similar storyline with the older version, and then he had to make sure he was born, and it was a pretty interesting storyline. But with that one, it was more magic rather than sci-fi.
Oh. Ruben says Okabe in despair decides to give up, but chooses to keep himself in this 2-day time loop with Suzuha and goes insane, to say the least. That's great.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
How the fuck is that a character ending and not just a bad ending?
Right?
The world shatters into geometric shapes that expand and contract like rubber toys. Light gathers between my eyes. Stars explode behind my eyelids. Gradually, color returns to the world. I wait for the vertigo to pass. Cold sweat oozes from my temples. Pressing my fists against them, I slowly force the air out of my lungs. Has the world line changed? I head to the lounge in order to check the divergence meter. It's gone. I checked the meter a few minutes ago, just before the world line changed. Now it's nowhere to be found. I quickly realized what has happened. Suzuha gave me the meter after we stopped her from leaving. My D-mail undid those events. Of course the meter isn't here. A surge of regret seizes my heart. I clench my teeth and endure it as best as I can. If nobody else remembers, then I alone will keep these memories of Suzuha alive. I look around the room. Mayuri and Kurisu are on the sofa, dozing on each other's shoulders. Oh, that's cute. Daru, oblivious to the vulnerable high school girls behind him, is playing an eroge on his computer.
Of course.
I take a deep breath and turn on the TV. I flip to a news channel. The world line should have changed. I erase the time we spent with Suzuha. That should have allowed her to leap to 1975 without losing her memories, and the IBN 5100 should be in our hands now. We can use it to hack into CERN and erase the data they intercepted from us. Without that information, Moeka's men won't attack the lab. Mayuri won't have to die. That's how it should be. That's how it has to be. Otherwise, why did I sacrifice Suzuha's dream? The quickest way to confirm the change would be to check for any delays at Akihabara Station. Daru, is the Yamanote line stopped?
Huh? I don't think so.
Check online.
Wait, I'm at the best part.
Please. Daru sighs and calls up train information.
Doesn't look stopped.
Thanks. The world line has changed. Which means that our IBN 5100 should be in the development room. I head back there to search for it. But contrary to my expectations, I can't find it anywhere. What's going on? I look at my watch. It's 7:43 p.m. Moeka's men attack at... what time again? My heart is pounding like a drum. That D-mail was supposed to fix everything. The trains are moving as scheduled, which means that Moeka's men aren't about to attack. So why does it feel like nothing's fixed at all? The IBN 5100's absence is extremely disturbing. I want to sit down and think about where it could have gone, but a voice in my head is screaming that there's no time. I need to calm down. It's hard to think straight after everything that's happened. I check my watch again. 7:46 p.m. Images from the assault flash through my mind. Mayuri bleeding to death on the floor. The smell of gunpowder in the air. I frantically shake the visions out of my head. I look towards the lab entrance. The door has yet to be kicked in by a team of hitmen. I swallow hard, petrified with terror. Please don't let anything happen. It's past 9. I peek at the street through the window. Nobody's there.
Hey, Mayuri live?
Are you waiting for someone? You keep looking out the window.
Daru's right. I've probably looked out the window 20 times in the past hour. And not a suspicious figure in sight. Moeka's men still haven't appeared. The raid was before 8, if I remember correctly. I think it's safe to say that my changes to the past have prevented it from occurring. Suzuha's sacrifice was not in vain. I let out a deep breath. I'm sweaty and disgusting. It's like my anxiety has pushed all the sweat out of my body. Mayuri, Kurisu. The two girls woke up from their nap about half an hour ago. Now they're eating cup noodles.
Wait, did you just say my name correctly?
Kurisu looks at me in astonishment, like she can't believe her ears. When you're done eating, go home. It's late, so I'll go with you.
Okie dokie. I don't need an escort from you. I can get back by myself.
Just listen. Daru, you too.
Huh? Me too.
Ooh. The train lines running through Akihabara are operating normally. There's no bomb
pretty
scare.
girls up there.
Huh?
Pretty girls characters up
yeah.
there. I'm wondering if that's a reference to another game or something.
Maybe. I like the really chubby frog on the side. There's no bomb scare, no sign of Moeka or her men. Kurisu's taking the Sobu line to the next station, Ochanomizu, while Daru's going the opposite way to Shinkoiwa. Mayuri and I are taking the Yamanote line to Ikebukuro, so we part at the station's ticket gate. There are surprisingly few passengers on the train. I guess most of the salarymen are off for the Obon holiday. Mayuri is playing a handheld game, the Rainet Kakeru action RPG. On the screen, her character is battling a gigantic Upa. I stand beside her and gaze at her profile, lost in thought. It's the night of the 13th and Mayuri's still alive. How many times have I watched her die? How many times have I tasted that despair? No matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't save this ditzy childhood friend of mine from death. She died again and again, right before my eyes. And now she's alive, standing beside me, playing a game. This is why I sacrificed our memories with Suzuha. It was the only way. I'm sorry, Suzuha. And thank you. Suzuha no longer exists in this time, but I hope my feelings will reach her all the same. Actually, come to think of it, why can't I tell her in person? Where in Akila could the 54-year-old Suzuha be? I'll try asking Tenoji tomorrow. He probably knows Suzuha on this world line too. I wonder if Suzuha remembers me.
Hey, Okarin?
Mayuri suddenly lifts her head. She looks at me hesitantly. Her cheeks are slightly pink. What?
Come on, Okarin. Mayushi gets nervous when you stare at her like that.
Did I make you get a game over?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I apologize, but keep looking at her. Instead of us starting a new game, Mayuri looks at me with concern.
There's something different about you today, Okarin.
Really?
Yeah, what's wrong?
I remind myself that Mayuri is more perceptive than she seems. She proved that when she figured out that Daru was Suzuha's father. I don't want to worry her too much. I want Mayuri to smile her usual ditzy smile without a care in the world. After all, it's over now. She's safe. Nothing's wrong. And I wasn't looking at you just now. I was devising new ways to bring chaos to the world.
Yeah, the Chuni roll is back. Can't believe I missed it.
That just reminds me of this little Twitter post I saw. Before the changes were made, anytime that was a Twitter post that didn't have any quote retweets, it would show like this weird looking green bird, and it was just like no quote retweets yet. And this person a long time ago, back in May, had said, "I fucking hate this fuck ass bird. I hope it gets shot in the eye with a BB gun." And now that it's gone, they quote retweeted themselves, and it was like, "I didn't appreciate you enough while you were still here."
Oh, that is funny.
So you saying that just reminded me.
Yeah, that is funny.
Sorry, I spoke over you.
That's fine.
Really? You seem kind of tired.
That is funny. I do miss how Twitter used to be.
A mad scientist is never tired. The mighty gray cells of my 170 IQ brain are always performing calculations, day and night.
I feel like you said a different number before.
Probably.
Oh, but you should still take a break every now and then. Please, Okarin, for me.
Having said that, Mayuri returns to her game. I feel cold stares all around me, but I don't care at all. Mayuri is here with me, doing everyday Mayuri things. Ordinary things. Everything is going back to normal.
I'm sus, y'all. This feels too simple.
Yesterday was my first time home in a while, so I slept like a log in my comfortable bed.
Oh, you were actually home with your family, your parents, who we don't know if they exist?
Watch them all be like Chuni characters. Chuni parents. It could be because of my mental exhaustion, but that was the best night's sleep in a while.
Oh my god, Gundam Tanaka's his father.
Yes! Gundam and Sonia.
Yes.
Before heading up to the lab, I stop and stare at the brown tube workshop. The familiar mountain bike is gone. Suzuha liked it so much she insisted on bringing it with her to 1975. The workshop door opens and out comes Mr. Brown, rubbing his eyes sleepily.
Okabe, you've got free time. How about a job? As a special offer, I'll hire you for one CRT a month.
I'd work a month for a CRT TV.
Mm.
One CRT a month?
But if he works multiple months, then he gets more, more and more.
So for 1 month's work, I get an old television. Hell no, I'm not fucking Coco.
He better not fuck Coco.
The second that came out of my mouth, I was like, oh no.
He would be dead in a second.
When
I'll push him in front of the train.
Uh-oh. And then Mayuri becomes a protagonist trying to save Okarin from you.
She would have to go back in time and stop you from saying that.
When did Suzuha quit again?
Suzuha? Who the hell's that?
What?
Hmm?
Was her existence erased completely? That's impossible.
I ain't got time to remember the name of some lousy part-timer who quit after just 10 days.
Oh, okay. You just scared us, bro.
Damn you and your misleading words! So Suzuha did work here. That fact, the evidence of Suzuha's sojourn in 2010, still remains on this world line.
And I thought I finally had some help for a change. That's what I hate about you damn kids. No dedication. I bet she lied about liking CRTs too. Got me good.
Noji shrugs his shoulders, annoyed. Naturally, he doesn't know about Suzuha's true identity. Does the name Hashida Suzu ring a bell? At this, Tenoji's eyes go wide.
Haven't heard that name in a long time. You knew her?
Huh? Knew her? So now she's...
It's been 10 years already, huh?
10 years? 10 years since what? No. I don't want to know the answer. Tenoji has a faraway look in his eyes, as if he's gazing into the past.
Maybe all she did was move away.
She really helped me out.
Why are you talking about her in past tense?
She didn't have any relatives, not that I knew of. I wish I could have been with her at the end.
No!
At the end. There's only one thing that can mean. Even though the world line changed, Suzuha didn't survive to the year 2010.
To tell you the truth, though, she looked peaceful when I found her.
Peaceful? She didn't commit suicide?
Suicide? Who the hell told you that? Susan was sick. Don't believe any old thing you hear.
Shame she died again, but at least it was natural.
Yeah. She was sick. Sickness killed her. I shouldn't feel good about that. But I guess you could say it's better than what happened before the world line changed. That's what I tell myself anyway.
So, how did you know Susan?
She helped me out too, a long time ago. I was hoping to see her again.
Yeah? I'm living in her old house now. Wanna come pay your respects at the altar?
I nod without a moment's hesitation.
Oh, new location?
Tenoji closes up shop and we head off towards his house. From Chuodori, we head towards the station. I scan the Akiba scenery as we walk. Moe stores are still nowhere to be found on this world line.
The key. There's nobody at the lab. I don't have a key, so I can't get in. When are you coming over? I just assumed you'd be here like usual. Kind of feels like I'm visiting your home. Not that I want to visit your home or anything, Tsundere.
So let's see, for this, I believe is I don't have a key. Just because I'm nervous, I'm gonna quickly save. Let's do that. And we'll lock that one. And then go back. This is a partida. And use the one hitting in the switchboard next to the door. After a little hesitation, I look up at Radicon. It's gone. The satellite has vanished. All that's left is the hole it made when it arrived in this time. When did the satellite disappear?
About 5 days ago? You never know what's gonna happen, huh?
Which means Suzuha left before it rained. Like Tanoji said, his house is closer than expected. We take the train to the next station, Okachimachi, and then walk for about 5 minutes to a quiet residential area. This old one-story house is where Suzuha once lived.
Oh, her bike.
Yeah. I walk up to the front of the house, and there I see a familiar sight. Suzuha's bicycle. For a moment I can see her there, squatting beside the bicycle. But the mountain bike Suzuha rode to the brown tube workshop was shiny and new. Now it's old and covered in rust.
Suzu-san loved that old thing. Even when she couldn't ride it anymore, she'd still polish it every week. It's been sitting there for 10 years. Couldn't throw it away. I've maintained it best I could, but I guess nothing lasts forever.
I gently put my hand on the seat. It's warm from sitting out in the sun. I suppose that for the few days Suzuha was in Akiba, this bicycle existed in 2 places at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's kind of cool.
The house isn't as messy inside as I expected, considering the state of the brown tube workshop. I guess that chipmunk keeps the place clean.
Ugh, no. Of all the freaking images, why? Coco and I are so haunted by that damn stylized zooming in of the eyes.
I think it's fucking hilarious because I can't take it seriously.
It's so weird. Ugh.
A wave of nausea hits me as I recall what Nae did at Ochanomizu Station.
I still can't believe she killed her on accident like that. That was so crazy.
But I tell myself that that was just an accident. Besides, that incident has already been undone. Tenoji Nae has done nothing wrong. Next to the living room is a child's room. There's a child's study desk and a red backpack on the floor. Poor Vap wasn't here for it. So yeah, back when we were going through a lot of different instances in which we were trying to prevent Mayuri from dying, back before we started using the time leap machine to try and fix the Suzuha's time machine and all that. There were just a bunch of different ways that Mayuri was dying. And one of the ways that she died was when we were trying to get as far away as possible using one of the still running trains, is that Nai, wanting to surprise Mayuri, since you know they're close, they're friends, she just like went up running to her to try and hug her, but she tripped and instead she ended up pushing Mayuri into the way of an oncoming train.
Yeah.
And the poor
And at the
kid
time,
was...
the way they did it, we thought she did it on purpose.
like we ended the stream with that happening, and we were just like, what?
That was pretty great.
Especially since we were joking beforehand, because we knew she was going to die by, you know, being pushed in front of the train, and we were joking, Moika's going to appear out of nowhere and just do a flying, leaping kick to shove her in the way.
Nope. That would have been great too, just because of how ridiculous it would have been. But this one was so funny but tragic, like horribly tragic.
Yes. Which reminds me, Tenoji's daughter visits the workshop often, but not once have I seen his wife. He couldn't have married Suzuha, could he?
I wondered that before. I was like, is that possible?
I mean, she should have been a lot older than him when they met.
Doesn't matter.
But as they say, love knows no bounds. Hopefully it was legal and ethically okay.
Because she's like in her 50s now, she would have been, and he's what, maybe his 40s?
maybe, yeah.
So maybe it's not bad.
Yeah, as long as he was like at least like maybe 25 and she was 35.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when it comes to that age gaps like that, that's kind of my cutoff point because that's when someone is more likely to have, gone through college, maybe established some sort of financial foundation so there isn't like this power gap.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what really happened. I don't know how I'd feel if those two were married.
Well, he was pervy towards the younger version of her.
Yeah. That would make Daru Tanoji's father-in-law.
I demand you lower our rent.
Actually, that would be kind of interesting. I run to the Buddhist altar to pay my respects to Suzuha. There's no picture of her, so there's no way to know what Hashida Susu looked at the age of 44.
Dang it, y'all. I wanted to see.
I make an offering of incense to her, then look around the house again. And this is the house Suzuha lived in after leaping to 1975.
When Suzu-san and I first met, we were neighbors.
For some reason, Tanoji offers me a beer. When I decline, he shakes his head and starts drinking it himself.
I was born and raised in Europe, you know.
Huh? Is that a joke?
Got a problem? I'll have you know my English and French are perfect.
He really doesn't look like someone who lived abroad. I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. But with that, we will have to end things right here.
Oh, yes.
Time to take the entire week to recover from everything that happened here. Maybe be ready for next stream.
Yeah, that was really heavy emotionally.
Yeah. As some of you know, I'm in the process of moving, so I can't 100% guarantee if there's going to be a stream next week for this or any of my streams. But as usual, we do have the Discord, and there is my Twitter. I always make all updates there to let you know exactly what is happening when. Here, I'll just quickly drop my Twitter in the chat. The Discord link, as I said, should be in the description. But yes, thank you all so much for coming, and I hope that you have a wonderful time zone wherever you are.
Take care.